Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Village of Bartlett Committee of the Whole meeting for April 5th, 2022. I call this meeting to order and again ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Here.
Gansey? Here. Gunstein?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Rinke? Absent. Swansky? Here. President Wallace?
Here. First item on our agenda this evening is Building and Zoning. Chairman Hopkins. Thought you got the night off tonight, but no such luck.
Thank you, President Wallace. We have 3 items on our agenda tonight. The first is the Hanover Township campus expansion. Hanover Township is proposing to expand their existing campus on Route 59. The petitioner is requesting to annex 14.24 acres of property directly south of the campus and rezone the entire 17.8-acre property from ER1 to zoning district to the P1 public land zoning district. The petitioner has submitted a phasing plan for the project. Phase 1 includes an emergency services station. Phase 2 includes the facilities and road maintenance administration offices. And Phase 3 includes a public cemetery and walking path. The Plan Commission reviewed the petitioner's request and conducted the public hearing at their meeting on March 10th. Members of the public requested that petitioners consider providing connection from Sayre Road to a walking path proposed in Phase 3, and B, the impact of the cemetery and the walking path to Sayre Road, and hire a groundwater consultant during the engineer and designing of the proposed cemetery. The Plan Commission recommended approval of the subjects to the conditions and findings of facts outlined in the staff's report. With that, are we going to follow some of those? Okay. Any other questions from the committee?
I don't think so.
I think the Plan.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I think the Plan Commission did an excellent job reviewing this.
Yeah. Mr. Barr, I didn't ask the last time you were here. Is there like some type of statistics that you go through to figure out like if that would warrant a cemetery there? I know that the one in Bartlett is pretty full. It's full, right?
No, there's still.
Is there still plots?
Well, they open up that the northeast section.
Okay. Just curious.
No, just based on input from the community over time saying that there's very little in the way of available plots through public cemeteries left in the township area.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Great. Thanks for being here.
So if there's no other comments, we'll send this to the village board for a final vote.
Sounds like a plan.
The next item on our agenda is the Grasslands Final Subdivision, PUD Plat, and Final PUD. The petitioners are requesting approval of the Final Subdivision and PUD Plat and Final PUD Plan for the Phase 1 of Grasslands Subdivision. The Final Subdivision and the Final PUD Plan identifies 3 PODs or neighborhoods proposed for residential development, containing a total of 231 dwelling units. POD 1 would consist of 81 single-family homes. PO 2 would consist of 60 active adult ranch homes, with POD 3 consisting of 90 active adult duplexes. The northwest corner of Route 59 and West Bartlett Road, Lot 197, is designated for commercial use and will be developed in the future during Phase 3. The Final Subdivision, PUD Plat, and the Final PUD Plan for Phase 1 are in substantial compliance with the preliminary subdivision and PUD Plat dated March 20th, 2021, last revised June 21st, 2021, and the preliminary PUD Plan for Phase 1 dated January 29th, 2021, last revised June 25th, 2021. The Plan Commission reviewed the petitioner's request and recommended approval at their meeting on March 10th, 2022. Is there any questions from the committee?
Can you point out again, please, Roberta, the ingress and egress from this subdivision?
This is off of West Bartlett Road here. This is the primary access point. And this is a second access point off of Naperville Road here.
The Bartlett Road one is right across from, what's that other road?
Cheviot.
What is it?
I think it's Cheviot.
Cheviot Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Cheviot, yeah. That's unincorporated, isn't it?
I believe that's right.
So where's the commercial?
Here. That's the commercial.
Do we have an egress and plan for the commercial?
Yes, they will most likely have a curb cut, off of West Bartlett in this location here. And it's possible that they might have a right-in off of 59.
Okay.
And that was my next question. Is there any way to access from 59 to?
It's possible.
Has IDOT looked at that plan yet?
We don't have a plan per se yet, so
Okay.
it's a future phase.
Go ahead.
That would help with the commercial side at least, right? That would get some of that traffic out of the main portion of the residences.
Yeah, if they could do something like with the culverts, right in, right out like that.
And we also have this, what I would call like the back entranceway from the subdivision, so that no one would have to access West Bartlett Road or Naperville to enter into the commercial area from this subdivision.
I'd be curious to, just thinking about traffic, and somebody in the audience had mentioned trying to think out of the box, especially for the 55, is it 55 and older? Some type of Hanover Township bus service, maybe for shopping and taking them out to different areas that could take care of a little bit of traffic. Is that something you guys offer, James? Yeah. So that would be a great idea, to set up some type of a schedule for grocery shopping, because they have to drive out of there and try to find a place, yeah.
I have a couple of things. I mean, I think this plan is great. I just want to make sure the connectability for our bike path system is set in stone, and that you want to talk about reducing traffic. I think the more bike paths and connectability we have, we're going to see a reduction in car traffic. However, we're more susceptible to dangerous intersections and kids and bikes at intersections. So can you explain where we're at with that process in all of our paths and underpass there?
So the path system, as part of Phase 1, includes this crossing. This is east of here, so here's 59. The path system starts east of 59. There would be an underpass under the Route 59.
Where's that at, Roberta? I'm sorry,
Right
east
here.
of 59.
Right here.
Across the street from Maryville.
Across the street.
Oh,
It's in line with the Maryville access point. You're
Right.
oh,
Yes.
yes. So this is in line with the driveway that goes to Maryville. Okay, so we wanted to keep it as far east as we possibly could on their property, stay out of the wetland, the water, and, again, line it up with an existing driveway. So this was the best location, coming up northbound, and then under Route 59, the underpass here, along this narrow strip running just south of the railroad tracks, through the development. There is a path that would lead down through the proposed park, and then it would extend again along the railroad tracks, through the detention areas and the wetland areas, then up and hit, continue on and connect with Naperville Road. So there would also be a bike path continuation along the east side of Naperville Road, and eventually in Phase 2, it would extend over the tracks and north of the tracks.
So there's not a bike path on the north side of West Bartlett Road? They'd have to cross across West Bartlett Road and take the bike path that's on the other side. And that one ends too. It doesn't go that far.
Goes to
Right.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So-
Wasn't the Plan Commission had some concerns, didn't they, about the bike path running along the railroad tracks, and I think a playground back there somewhere?
Well, this is for a
concern about
proposed
that.
park, yes. So this is a proposed park, right?
So did you come to any conclusion on that
I can just state that what I stated at the Plan Commission is that the village is not going to approve something that's not safe.
Developer is putting in the paths within their development, correct?
As part of Phase 1, it will be either the owner or applicable developer.
Okay. Where are we in the process of obtaining either an approval for the underpass to be used, or is that a hypothetical or a wish?
So the underpass, in the development agreement, it's outlined that 6 months after the approval of this final PUD plan, Phase 1, engineering must be submitted for the underpass. We currently do not have that engineering.
So, I know we talked a little bit about this maybe a year ago, maybe. When this site is being developed, I want to make sure that truck traffic does not go north on Naperville Road. Truck traffic has to stay on West Bartlett Road or go south on Naperville Road.
And that was a condition of the approval for the, zoning, yes, that is in there. They're gonna do the best that they can, we are making them put up signage that trucks should, turn left and go southbound.
All right. Thank you. Is there any other questions from the committee? With that, we'll send this to the village board for a final vote. Next thing on our agenda is amending the municipal code, Title 10, 4A, 2.
Just 1 second, I'm sorry, Chairman Hopkins. So if I heard you correctly, it's no guarantee for this underpass.
It's not a guarantee, no, but we need engineering, and it's required to be submitted within 6 months of the approval of this plan.
Okay.
Why 6 months?
Well, it takes time to do the engineering. And then,
I just was wondering where they came up with that date, because I also am concerned about that, because we put the housing project in motion, and then that doesn't work, then all the bike path plans that are in there have to be completely reconfigured, because they will go essentially nowhere. So is there a plan B? That's what I want to know. What's the plan B?
Yes.
Should that not be approved?
yes, there is a plan B, and it would be a sidewalk along West Bartlett Road.
But how are we safely going to cross 59?
That will be improvements as part of the intersection with West Bartlett and Route 59.
That's a really good question too. So what is the timing of both of these things going on? Maybe you could answer
I
that.
can. I'm Dan Olson with Crown Community Development. Roberta's right. The Plan B is just that. If we don't get a permit from IDOT for the crossing, that there'd be the path, a sidewalk along West Bartlett Road, north side of West Bartlett Road. There's also a sidewalk in front of our property to the west. But the idea would be, if we can't get the permit for the underpass, that the traffic would have to cross that grade, and we'll work with IDOT to make sure that's where the bike path crosses right now. Ideally, the goal is to get it to go underneath the underpass.
We do both?
We've had numerous conversations with IDOT on that. They can't provide approval until they see plans, but they were supportive of the concept. And, if you're wondering what it'll look like, you just go to the north, Route 20.
Yeah.
And they did those improvements up there. That's what we're proposing. So they've approved it before. They've given us a verbal that looks like it'll work. But again, they won't commit until they submit plans. The reason we asked for 6 months, because it might take 6 months to get it designed, right, and do all the planning and whatnot. But there is a plan B if it doesn't get approved.
Is there go ahead.
I was just going to ask if we could do both. So like if in the evening no one wants to go through the woods, they want to go down a sidewalk and cross over.
Yeah, is there a chance to put a bike path instead of the sidewalk along West Bartlett Road?
There is bike path on the south side of West Bartlett, so you would have access to the Grasslands. IDOT will be installing a head crossing on the south leg, crossing 59, and then on the west leg, crossing West Bartlett, we'll hook up to a sidewalk that they're going to build that will feed into Grasslands. So there will be that access, but the safer access is the underpass, under the bridge.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get that included as well.
I can tell you as a father of 3 kids that I would not let my kids cross Route 59, and I believe everybody else here would feel the same way.
I wouldn't even let my
Send
kids
them out there.
drive
The
across.
semi-trucks can't stop.
When they were high school, I wouldn't let them drive across.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the semi-trucks can't
Agree.
stop fast enough, and they
We're talking about
pass the crosswalk.
underneath Route 59, right?
Underneath Route 59, south of the tracks, correct.
So who maintains that tunnel underneath there? Would that be the village then? As far as
It
safety
actually
goes,
will
right?
be Park District, I believe. But between the village and the Park District, the property to the east will be ultimately the Park District. So we're in negotiations with the Park District right now to acquire both of those properties. Staff is very supportive of it. We believe that the board will be as well. We're close to finalizing that agreement, which I believe will go before their board end of this month. So, yeah, if they take ownership of it, it will be owned and maintained by the Park District. If they don't, it'll be owned and maintained by the HOA.
So we have, I'm sure there are other underpasses, under roads out here, right? The ones that come to my mind are the ones up under Lake Shore Drive, though?
The one over 59.
The one over 59.
Yeah, down by.
That, I like, but if you think of Lake Shore Drive getting under that, of course, that's Chicago and that's different. Do we have any safety issues with those type of situations?
So it is, as I mentioned, the reason we'd propose going over, there's topographic issues, there's cost issues, but also it blocks the commercial. Commercial folks don't like
Yes.
big bridges in front of their signage. So that's why we had proposed going underneath the bridge, the existing bridge that's there, but cutting into it, on the opposite side of the piers from the railroad tracks. And again, if you drive north, you can see exactly what we're proposing there, but we think it'll be safe. It'll be, there'll be fencing along there. There's a boardwalk beyond there will have rails on it. So I think it'll be I'm confident it'll be a safe passage.
Okay, thank you.
What is your timeline to submit for permits if this gets approved?
So we're currently, we are land developers. We're not home builders, but we typically do our own land development. In this instance, we're actually working with a builder. We're negotiating a contract with a builder who will actually do the land development. It's the national builder. And so they'll do the work. We're hoping to close within the next few months. But once they close on a property, they go. They don't like to hold property. So their plan is to begin land development immediately, as soon as we satisfy all the permits with staff. And then, as soon as they can sell homes, they're selling homes. They'll get the model up as quickly as they can.
8 to 10 months?
Yeah.
So would it be...
It'll be phased, obviously, but...
Would it be safe to say that we would know if this underpass was approved or had a chance of getting approved prior to a permit being released for this project?
Possible. We also want to take those engineering plans, and we have to have engineering plans to apply for grants. So that's another leg that we're working on, too.
Yeah.
So we're going to be pushing them for those plans.
Okay. I mean, that's
We have an
a big
obligation
concern
to
for me.
submit plans within 6 months.
The 60, you should put 100 of them, but I know it's not economically wise, but the 60, 55 and over will sell out in 2 seconds.
Especially with that path underneath it.
I do have one I'm sorry, Mr. Mayor, one comment on the right-in, right-out. In those same negotiations with IDOT, we did talk about right-in, right-out into the commercial. We're not here tonight with that petition, but, they did respond favorably to a right-in, right-out off of Route 59. Obviously, we need to have a user. We need to know what it looks like. We need to submit a new traffic report and a plan for both village approval and IDOT approval. But the initial reaction was favorable for right-in, right-out there, so that'll help traffic as well.
Excellent. Yeah.
Have you had an interest in commercial users yet?
It's been on the market for a long time. You've seen the signs out there. Commercial's a tough market right now. Every once in a while, we'll get a little nibble, but nothing has come to fruition yet in the decade that we've owned it.
Usually...
Hopeful. Rooftops bring commercial, right? So.
Yeah. The one thing I would say is if that commercial site is not developed, I would like make sure it's stabilized and not a stockpile for dirt and...
Certainly.
And
yeah.
We're required by MPDS, not to make sure it is stabilized, and that it isn't. There's any erosion issues there. Protect the wetlands.
Usually find more interest once the houses are built in the commercials?
Yep. Rooftops come first, typically with commercial users, particularly this type of commercial user, which I would suspect a grocery or restaurant, those types of uses.
The corner part is the most expensive excavating of the whole land, isn't it?
Yeah, we have to fill that area.
Yeah, a lot. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
We'll send this on to the village board again.
Again?
Sorry.
Actually, it'll be the third time.
It's just a little bit,
Third time.
I was a little slow tonight, Chairman. Sorry about that.
Trustee Hopkins, one second, I have another question I want to ask.
Too late.
Go on.
Hold on.
Let's go on to...
The third item on our agenda is amending the Municipal Code Title 10-4A 2C2 chickens. Staff is proposing to amend Section 10-4A 2C2 of the Chicken and Poultry of the Zoning Code to repeal the Sunset Clause. With that...
What do we have, 6?
We have 13.
13. The ones behind me left. They took theirs out. I was really mad, because I was getting eggs, like, continually.
No, when you keep
None of my
taking their
chickens
eggs in the middle of the night, that's what happens. They have to leave.
Yeah.
So it's been successful, we've had no complaints, so we'd like to repeal the sunset.
Perfect, we'll send this to the village board for a vote. Does anyone have any comments, by the way?
Yeah. Doc Hammer would be
That's all
proud of
we
you.
have under building and zoning.
Thank you, Chairman, Hopkins. That will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Daney, seconded by trustee Gansey. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Trustee Daney?
Yes.
Gansey?
Yes.
Gunstein? Hopkins?
Yes.
Swansky? Yes.
We are adjourned.
Doc Hammer would be real proud of you.
Oh, about the chickens?